All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday at Lunchtime live stream on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am DDO's community manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour running on the hardcore server. As we near the end of the year, we near the release of Update 53, we near the start of Festival with the arrival of the Jester of the Festival. And I don't know, we're kind of wrapping up 2021 here and heading into 2022 pretty soon. We're going to be having a bit of a break at the studio for the related end of December holidays, whether that be Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you're celebrating. And that's going to be happening in a few weeks. So, next week's show, I think, will be the last show of the year for the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. And I'm not quite sure exactly what we're going to do for the end of the year here, so stay tuned. We'll see how things go. Frankly, in terms of we'll see how things go, Update 52 itself is a little bit up in the air. At this noontime on Wednesday, there was a time where we were going to go live today with it. But unfortunately, we ran into a build issue over the weekend, as sometimes happens. You know, it's not uncommon to have that kind of thing happen as you're working toward a release candidate and what have you. Unfortunately, we ended up having someone in a critical role there have an issue that prevented him from being able to work for a couple days this week up until, well, I mean, basically still can't work today, but is doing a little bit of work from a computer. And so, unfortunately, 52 is in a little bit of a weird state at this noontime. If possible, we're going to try to go live with it tomorrow. But it all depends on how things go on the technical process end and kind of how things check out with the release build. So that is a little up in the air to promise that Update 52 is going to be here tomorrow, but yet it is how it goes. It's a fairly small update, so that's the good news, right? In terms of things that need to be checked and what have you. We've got some good quality of life things that are in Update 52, and I teased that on DDO Cast this weekend. I believe that went live today or yesterday. So that's pretty cool if you want to take a look at that. There's a sneak peek of the Update 52 release notes. I could do that today if we want to, but I think I'll just kind of give some highlights here in a little bit, and then we'll get to hardcore questing instead. Nonetheless, Update 52 is going to be here soon. Whether it's tomorrow or, if not tomorrow, most likely early next week, I think are really the two candidates right now for the release of Update 52. And so stay tuned for a downtime and what have you on that. Let's celebrate the thing that did happen, though, and that is the start of the Hardcore League. Last Wednesday, we were getting ready to open. We are now open, so that's been happening, and a lot of people have died, and a lot of people have done well. Strim Tom, holy moly, man, you already hit, level 30 and stuff in 4 days? What? You're crazy. Anyway, hope people are having a good time with that. It does go until 1 o'clock Eastern on February 1st, 2022. So it's a shortened season, and hope you're having a good time with it. And we'll be playing it in a little bit, but I guess that's really about all there is to say about hardcore at this time. Unless, I could say one more thing. We do have an investigation underway into some death notices that do not appear to be being noticed correctly. This is an issue that's been going on for a while, frankly, with the Hardcore League, but we're working to track it down, and I think we probably are closer than ever to doing so we'll see how that goes. I may have died on Hardcore last night on Samus Garobo's stream, so I've agreed to do this thing with Samus where he's going to try to help me get to level 20 and what have you on Hardcore, and kind of stream it on his channel and all that sort of thing. And so I was doing that last night. That too is going to probably take a break for the holiday here in a little bit, but the next one's going to be tomorrow night, I think, where we're actually going to do things. So, that's been going on as well. Otherwise, like I said, Update 52 is really what we're doing on our side here, and we're really just about ready to release, and it's got some good stuff in it, up to and including that new free-to-play quest. It's called Dread Sea Scrolls, level 6 on Heroic, level 32 on Legendary. Foxpaw the Gatekeeper has a plan to destroy Codex pages once and for all. What could possibly go wrong? You'll speak with Iris Joel inside of the hut from beyond in the harbor to begin the adventure. And so whenever Update 52 goes live, that new free-to-play quest, just free, level 6 Heroic, 32 Legendary, Dread Sea Scrolls, go to the hut in the harbor to get started with that. And then we do have some quality of life things as well. And I did go through that just on Sunday. I kind of feel like maybe I would be repeating myself too much to go through all the notes. But there's quite a bit of new things in it. So a teaser on the cookies, though, as well. When the Jester arrives, right, you're going to be seeing new Festival cookies. And the Festival cookies are pretty cool this year. So I hope you've got some gold, silver, copper coins to turn in, because there's going to be some pretty cool things. There's also going to be some new Reaper bonus effects dropping on gear while in Reaper mode. You'll be able to speak to the Reaper vendor, the second Reaper vendor. I've got the name. I just forgot to write it in to the notes at this point. In the Hall of Heroes to enhance your gear with Reaper bonuses. Yeah, so you'll be able to enhance your gear with Reaper bonuses here in the near future, with Reaper bonus effects that can drop on gear while in Reaper mode. So, pretty groovy there. We're going to be having some new augments available in-game, like healing amplification, repair amplification, negative amplification, and then melee and ranged power. Putting things like some the Armor of Celebration, planar shards, bound to account. The Eternal Flasks, coffees, and non-potion potions will be able to be used while moving. That's pretty cool. Teleport items, like the Bottle of Mist, are going to all be going bound to account. That is a nice quality of life thing that we're happy to be able to bring you in Update 52 here. Upgrade Tomes of Fate will now be able to be turned into purified Eberron Dragon Shards. Nice little UI quality of life. While a character is dead and warded from being raised, like say on Reaper, their health bar icon in the party window will display a teal skull. Once the raise ward wears off, the skull will return to its normal red visual. So you're no longer going to have to call out in party chat or whatever, you know, that you ready for res or whatever. Although, of course, you are welcome to still do so, but the person in charge, like me, the cleric, will just be able to look at your party window and see when your raise word wears off. You'll be able to slot augments inside dungeons with Update 52. That's kind of a nice one. We're going to be preserving the comment field in a public LFM entry between the automatic public LFM listing and delisting. You know, like what happens if you get a full group. Let's see. Resetting a group of enhancement trees will no longer increase the cost of resetting other groups of enhancement trees. This is to help deal with both Destinies, say, and enhancement, inflation, improper inflation of the cost to respec. So that's going in place there. And I think we've got some more down the line we're going to be doing as well. But this is what we can get done for Update 52 here. The percentage bonus for your maximum hit points will now be available to view in the plus tab of your character sheet. We're doing a little fix with the universal enhancement trees. So right now, let me just do it. Right now, when you go into this, see over on the right here, this inquisitive bit, that is going to be like where, well, I don't have one where it's not set, right? But one where it's not set, just the general background. And then there'll be the drop-down menu, just like you would see for these windows off to the right, which, you know, despite the arrow being here, a lot of people tend to miss that. especially if you're a new player or whatever. So you're going to have a drop down here like in War Priest. It is just going to be blank for your universal enhancement trees, and then you'll be able to select the one you want to slot into that slot. It's a quality of life thing because there could be times where the universal enhancement tree, like in this case, for example, with Vistani Knife Fighter, gets kind of shoved off to the right, and then people sometimes get confused and have a hard time picking it, and actually end up calling customer service. You'd be surprised how many tickets they receive on it. That's in part of what's driving this. But it is going to be kind of nice. Instead of having to try to pick whatever in this tree, it's just going to be blank and you'll get to slot it in there. And that'll be coming here with Update 52. Let's see. You'll get a brief visual when you earn a Reaper action point. And the beckon animation that's also used in, say, mounting your mount, intimidate, and the beckon emote will blend a little bit better with movement. They got a little animation fix in there that's kind of groovy. So those are just some of the highlights of Update 52. There's a few other things as well, but you know, that's the main stuff. So I'm just gonna run a few kind of solo quests here while I get going on hardcore, and I'll look at chat for a bit, and we'll just kind of see sort of where things take us. I think there's a few bonuses I can get to yet, but the main thing is we're working to get Update 52 out the door. And yeah, there we go. Update 52 out the door, and that's probably the big release then for the rest of the year until January, at which point we've got a whole bunch more, you know, that we'll be talking about here in 2022. I mean, just a massive amount of things. So, okay, let me, before I totally get going here, let me take a scroll through our chat and see what I got going on here. Let me summon up a couple hirelings while I do so, and etc. I am on hardcore, so I do want a hireling. Let me actually just real quick put up... Yeah, I'm going to put that screen up here for just a second while I look through chat. Alright. The intro music was from Sinister's Secret of Saltmarsh. Did I say 53? If I said 53, I meant 52. But I could have sworn I said 52, right? Gosh, did I? Now I've got a complex. I have no idea what I said. Someone made it to level 9 in hardcore. Very nice. Someone has a CS issue in Twitch chat, not resolved by CS. Is there anything I can do to help that person get their account back? The unfortunate reality is our account queue is quite backed up at the moment. And I know that that's... Oh, right, this is solo. And I know this is not what you want to hear. I know that they're working on it. We have customer service working pretty hard to get these things resolved, but it's going to be a little while yet. And unfortunately, there's little I can do to make things move faster than they are currently moving. I can make sure it was filed correctly or something like that, though, if you do get me that ticket number, which I do see you did do in chat, so I'll have to follow up to see that. So that is what I can personally do at the moment. Otherwise, I know that our support queue is slow. You know, I do see those posts on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else. But there's only so much I can do about that at the moment, other than to reassure you that we are aware, and we are working to resolve it as quickly as we can. And get our ticket queue back to a more responsive state. Someone said it wasn't Samus's fault that I died yesterday, so I'm gonna say no, it was. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, you know. Was it his fault that I chose to go the wrong way in a dungeon after coming back from AFK? I mean, I'd say yes, but, you know. Anyway, it was a Lobby character. We re-rolled and moved on. It was fine. It was a dumb mistake at the start yesterday. Let's see. What else? Let me keep going through chat. Someone has a question about, you know, post-free coupon and everything. What are our plans to retain value of VIP? Only so much I can really speak to that as well, other than to say that is a question that, you know, we are well aware of. We do work to preserve VIP value as often and as best as we can. We do love our VIP players. And so I would expect perhaps in 2022 to... for that to be a further focus of our conversations. And presumably we'll have maybe some more to say then in terms of kind of what the plan is for VIP value in the wake of like free coupons. But there's a ton of stuff you get for VIP already. Some people in hardcore who are running into it for the first time are like, oh yeah, right, the quest opening thing and the speed and the bonus XP and a whole bunch of other DDO points, you know. But it's certainly something that's on our mind, and I would expect to see us perhaps have more to say about, you know, at some point in the future. He mentioned anything about all the 9 in hardcore? I don't know what you mean by all the 9. I'm sorry. Yes, I know. Particularly, someone is kind of pushing back on the CS stuff, saying, "Hey, you know, I filed this ticket quite a while ago." And I do recognize that, particularly in some issues with, say, hacked accounts and what have you. Sometimes that stuff can be a very slow process, unfortunately. And I'm sorry that that is the case. There's only so much I can personally do about that, though. I definitely have let them know that, you know, what I see on the Facebook and Twitter and the forums, Twitch streams, things like that. I do let them know. All right, let's see. Any thoughts on making Mysterious Remnants auto-collect? I would defer to the rest of the team as to on what I would like to see there. Do we want an auto vacuum cleaner? Do we want Mysterious Remnant vacuum boots? I kind of want Mysterious Remnant vacuum boots. On the same time, it doesn't really bother me. And I kind of like the mystery of not knowing it. Unfortunately, I hit a load screen issue here. I am sorry to say. Let me put back up that title and get that taken care of. It's one of the things we're working on. I did grab some video of some of the lag I experienced in hardcore yesterday as well. That really, other than Update 52, and even in some cases on a higher priority than Update 52, lag and game performance has been a top priority for us here as we rolled out of November into December. We did a fix for lag related to Reaper enhancement loading, and that made some difference, and we're pursuing a few other things that we believe will make some difference. We also did some kind of maintenance-related work on the server environment, both last week and we'll be doing a little bit more when Update 52 arrives. you know, that's really the main priority as we sort of work toward the end of 2021 and head into 2022. All right, let me take a look at some more chat here. So, no, I did not die, as you can see. I have to admit, I part of the reason I am running this today is that, and I can't remember if it was with Samus or if it was on this character here, who's not the character I'm running with Samus's group. This is one I'm just running on the side. Oh, right. Don't kill the dogs. Anyway, mange. Yeah, we're off to a great start here on Hardcore 5, aren't we? Here, let me try that again. You know, hey, I'm a noob. I'm just starting to learn how to play the game. I got distracted. What was I saying? What I was saying is that, was it with Samus yesterday, or the... Otherwise, I saw a death notice where someone was killed to a mangy dog. And it made the group I was in wonder, does that mean that the dogs killed them in the Scrag sewer quest, or is there any place else where at, say, level 3-4, you would be able to run into a mangy dog that could kill you? Because if so, and someone died to Scrag sewer yesterday, all I can say is F. I pay my respects to you. I'm sorry. I saw the death notice. I was there to witness you just trying to do the right thing, and then someone takes your hardcore win away from you. All right. Are we aware of issues of game connecting to chat? Yes, that is part of the same work that we are doing. That I was talking about earlier. It is something we are absolutely aware of, yes. For the most part, it's been reconnecting after a little bit, which I know isn't a solution, but that's been the experience that I've seen as well. There are mangy dogs in Three Barrel Cove? Okay, I couldn't remember if there were or not. I couldn't remember. The notes, I went through the notes actually on Sunday. With Patrick on DDOcast. So if you actually want to see all the notes in their current state, you can go watch that. That's available on DDOcast.com. You'll see them, though, very soon, because we'll be live with Update 52. But it is possible that Update 52 may end up getting pushed here. And we'll know more in the coming hours, but, you know, it can't really be helped, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, now someone else is saying farm dogs. Okay, yeah, but that's a quest with Nash. Yep. All right, let me head over to YouTube quick on chat. What can you do to get a Supreme +8 tome back on your character? Civ packs, all I can really say to that is that I can't help you live on the stream here today. Hopefully, it sounds like you do have an in-game ticket submitted, so hopefully that will work for you. I know that, again, we're backed up on CS. Okay. Any hint for this week's December deals? And, you know, I am having issues today. Let me try this again. No, Jumbie of Beatrix. As a matter of fact, I love what I do. Absolutely love what I do. I'm so lucky to be doing this. I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the game being here, and I appreciate that I get the opportunity to do this for you. How are the incentives from Extra Life coming along? Someone asks. Quite well. I have spent on the DDO side specifically since Sunday working through mailing people their items in-game. I'm only about maybe a third of the way through the list, and I'm focusing on people who have PM'd me back, along with people who initially told me what they wanted, and then I'm following up with everyone else. So I expect to have the vast majority of everything taken care of by the end of the week. And things are going pretty well. Basically, after I get done with my work day here, what I've been doing is putting out a movie or two in the background, one of the free movie streaming services and what have you, and then just kind of going through a spreadsheet. I got the full list of 400 and some between the two games, and I'm just cracking on, and I've been doing so since about Thanksgiving, actually. And it's working. It's working. Lotro is a little easier because I can just ship people codes. I can't do that on the DDL side yet. But nonetheless, I'm working through both, and I would say I'm somewhere in the range of halfway done with the whole process. So things are going pretty well, and I do appreciate everyone who donated, and also to the people who donated to Movember this year. I haven't forgotten about you as well. I am going to be getting in touch with you also within the next couple of days, I think, to make sure I get you your incentives and what have you as we kind of wrap up the year. So I do think next week's going to be the last weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream, and then I too will be largely unavailable through the rest of December. We'll see how things go. There's always a little bit of work to be done over the holidays, but nonetheless, I'm taking a break as well. I'm just seeing if there's any better than what I got. Not really. So these stairs can kill you in hardcore at level 1 if you're not careful. If you're just like, oh yeah, I just jump off the stairs. That can be a bad idea. That can be a very bad idea. Alright, let me get back to chat and actually try to get to something of quality here. So I think I'm up to date on Twitch chat. Let me look over at YouTube. What could be bad about getting paid to play video games? No, I mean, it is a job. It is a job. And there are a few aspects which could be challenging sometimes. Long hours. There are times where we do work pretty hard. There's a lot, sometimes stress and responsibility. You feel pressure, You do, it's not great when people are kind of yelling at you if they're yelling at you for something you did. So it's got its downsides too, but overall there is absolutely nothing I'd rather be doing. I am so lucky to be able to do this, and every time during the holidays here, it's a good reminder to me, because November is my anniversary with Then Turbine, and we've largely preserved our anniversary dates when we became Standing Stone Games, because in many cases our jobs actually didn't change, or they did, but they became they went up. And anyway, so, and then in December, it's a lot of time to think about family and all that sort of thing. And in the video game industry, and other industries too, but in the video game industry in particular, it tends to shut down during the last few weeks of December. And I don't know if the history dates back to, like, say, 80s, 90s culture, or if it's a Silicon Valley culture. So it's sort of beyond video games, just more software development, or what. But it does tend to be the case that outside of critical jobs, like people keeping the servers running, customer support, even people like myself a little bit, doing all the social media and everything that I do, even during kind of break periods, and sometimes especially during holidays. For the most part, though, a lot of people, the industry tends to shut down during the latter half of December. And what that often means is a couple of weeks at the end of the year to spend with family. And again, being able to work in video games and have that experience where I get to spend that time with my family does mean a lot. It does mean a lot. It's a good time of reflection for me to recognize in many ways how lucky I have it. So. I missed a spider somewhere. Oh no, I'll have to go back. That's why you go to Keep and get a Featherfall cloak right off the bat. So here's the thing, though. Keep on the Borderlands will kill you if you're not careful. It absolutely will. So, consider that if you're a level 1 noob. Is sometimes you want to go through Korthos and everything else first just to get yourself a little bit of starter gear. I've actually noticed the Platt auction house has also been pretty generous this year. And I assume that is in part just because people are helping others. So, like, if you are looking for a specific thing, or just some general loot, like, I just need a longsword. I noticed the auction house has been pretty friendly so far in hardcore in terms of being able to outfit you with some basic gear. Hardcore 6 should have all mobs be champions, an entire champion. Hardcore season. That would make Cobalt Assault pretty tough, wouldn't it? Have I announced this weekend's bonus? No, but thank you. I think, though, this weekend's bonus is actually the start of Festival. And if that ends up not being possible for whatever reason, then we'll have to reconsider what we want to do for a bonus for the weekend. Because that's all I've got written down. So the start of Festival, which is, I think, going to be kind of cool this year. I really do think it's going to be pretty awesome. And then we've got another kind of thing that we're getting ready to announce that might also happen by this weekend, but we'll kind of have to see how it goes with update 52 here. So stay tuned is all I can really say on the bonuses, but it's something that you'll want to maybe pay attention to. Let me put it that way. All right, I think I just took care of all the solos, right? I have, I've got still the entirety of Keep to do myself for the same reason I just said. I got like Butcher's Path and stuff I could do. Yeah. Okay. Well, probably had to keep then. I guess it'd be the thing to do for the final 20 minutes of the show here. Another kind of thing. I know, very, very descriptive there. Unfortunately, I can't spoil it yet. So we're just going to have to wait. Until I can spoil it. And then you're going to be like, oh my god, yeah! Hopefully. The Arcane Skeleton is MVP this season. I have heard that, yeah. The Plains Wolves and Borderlands have eaten well. I bet they have, yes. Tell us about the cookies. I think that they are going to be pretty epic. What could be bad about getting... Okay, no, I already said that. How did Movember Fundraiser go? It was very slow this year. I didn't really have the opportunity to invest in communication and time to do Movember this year. I did sign up, and we did get a couple of $100 that people donated, but this year's Movember was pretty quiet because I ran out of time. I ran out of free time, just period. And so I wasn't able to really do as much for Movember this year as I would like to. But I think next year I'll hopefully be in a position to do more with Movember, and that'll go a little bit nicer. I will say it's true, though. Keep is where you're going to want to go for that Lobby gear. I think. Maybe not. I think so. Although I got lucky on Korthos. Was it this character, actually? Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I pulled this. Just right off the bat in Korthos, and I've just been using it until I swap to something nicer here. It's better than that Ember Longsword by a long shot, you know? So... I will say, related to hardcore here, that within about a week, so next week, you can expect the death notices to end below level 3. So starting next week, probably something like next Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to raise the threshold for those death notices to 3. And then the week after that, it's going to go up again to 5. And that's really to just prevent a little bit of world broadcast spam, because generally by that point people are less concerned about, say, a level 1 death or something like that. You know, it's just it's like, well, fine. People are well beyond that at this point, so... And so that's what we're going to be doing here next week and the week after, is raising it slightly. So it'll end at, I believe, level 5 and under within a couple of weeks on hardcore. No, my understanding is the cookies are the same. It's the effects that are different. So it'll be, you know, new stuff. It's just like usual, we swapped out the cookies for new things. I just happen to think the new things are kind of neat this year. And I think you may think so too. I'm not going to go into Reaper. I should, but I'm not. When does the hardcore season end? That would be 1 p.m. Eastern on February 1st. Yeah, I am aware that StrimTom didn't get his level 30 death announcement. That's part of what I was saying. I think we have a lead, because we're going to copy over that character, like formally copy it over, and see if we can discover anything of note. But, yeah. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I need to actually turn up my volume here, I think. Or am I not hearing something? I don't think I'm hearing audio. I hope my audio's not screwed up. Okay, no. It's just not set right here. Well, that explains that. Okay, well, okay. Well, let's have a sound-free DDO experience today, I guess. Yeah, I think Streamtom died at level 30. I heard that. I unfortunately have been too busy to really watch his streams, but I know that he hit his goals in 4 days. It was pretty amazing, pretty cool. So, and then I saw the Twitch clip of his death, which seemed to be just kind of a pow out of nowhere, where you just sort of like starting combat, and next thing you know, you're staring at a Reaper, you know. Usually I find on the sound issue that it is related to order of operation. And I think the reason it's not working right now is because I've got it being exclusively grabbed by XSplit, I think. I think this is actually an XSplit issue, not a DDO issue, but DDO is not smart enough to sort of respond to the XSplit's call for exclusivity on the stereo output. And so that's why I think it gave me nothing after I loaded XSplit first. I think that's what happened here, but I could be wrong. $1,700 points of damage, POW one shot. Someone said related to Strimtom's death. Wow. That's pretty harsh. Yeah, he must have really pushed himself. In general, I don't actually want to encourage that kind of behavior, though. I don't actually support marathon live streams. Just as a person, I think I've been fairly vocal about it, to be honest. Maybe more vocal than I should, even in some cases. But I don't actually support long marathons. I think these 3-4 day marathons that happen on Twitch are generally not something I support. I don't think it's good for your people's mental health, and I don't think it's good for their physical health either. And so I tend to be a little muted in my praise for people who are like marathoning like that. I don't think it's very healthy. But that said, hey, people do it all the time. There are a lot of people younger than my old self who are, can do that kind of thing and still be fine. So, I don't want to get too judgy. XSplit is a streaming app that I'm using to stream this, and it lately has been causing me I've had a few issues with my computer and it. I think it is related to either Windows exclusivity or XSplit exclusivity or something. Something is grabbing, say, audio sources and not properly releasing them like it should. And that's what you're seeing here today. No, someone asking on YouTube if we have like statistics on number of deaths. We do not on either hardcore or the uh, other public worlds. It would be cool. People would love it, I think, to some extent, but that's like a database we don't really keep. So, no, is the unfortunate answer to that. All right. Where am I headed? There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, my computer is pretty nice, but you know, when I actually think about it, I'm like, you know what? It's actually getting, I guess, close to 5 years old. And lately, I've been having some problems. I used to be able to stream at 1080p without any issue on 1080p 30, but 1080p. And just really since this summer, I have had a heck of a time being able to do that. And to the point that now, as you see today, I'm actually streaming in 720. And even then on my end, I've got some issues with the way it's rendering for me that hopefully are not too public on your end. But it's like I feel like my computer, for whatever reason, is slowing down, that dreaded slowdown, as it were. And it's not compatible with Windows 11 either. So I'm gonna have to maybe get a new computer here sooner rather than later, huh? It is a vast conspiracy. Somehow they know. They know somehow and make it stop working. I don't know who they are, but they make my computer and cell phone stop working after a while. What happened here? Oh, okay. Yay. Oh, interesting question. And again, I can't read the red on black text. I think it's Luria of Orion. Asking if I will be dropping pets on hardcore since it's a repeat of season one. This came up recently related to the Extra Life stuff, where for the first time this season, someone had said, "Can you give me a creature companion stuff on the hardcore server? Are you allowed to give people things in hardcore?" And really, the answer is, oh, wait a second. I guess I hadn't thought about it too much before. there's no real reason why I couldn't be just giving people pets and stuff. I mean, it's a pet, right? It doesn't do anything. But I think as a general policy, it is still wiser to simply not do any distribution of items to people on the hardcore world. I'd hate, for example, if like someone for some reason found a way to kill someone with a pork barrel or something like that. And so I think my general rule is I'm going to be no pets on the hardcore world during the season that the hardcore world is active. You know, for the after party maybe, but not during. But that just came up last night as I was distributing some items, and someone said, well, can you give me a few pets on hardcore? I mean, they're just pets, right? And yeah, they are totally just pets, and maybe I should just be like, well, it doesn't matter, they're just pets, right? Why can't I give them to people on hardcore? That's the only way they're going to be able to get them for the season. But then I still think it's probably better to limit GM interaction with player characters in general on a hardcore. And so I think as a general rule, just in case, it's better to just be like, nah, I don't distribute things to hardcore until after the season's over. Because even if I were to do a distribution, I also wouldn't want to cause a problem with lag by, say, putting too large a crowd in too small a space or something like that, you know? So it would probably say they were killed by a pork barrel, I'd think. That would be my assumption. It would say. Oh. This seems like a bad idea. Plus, I don't even think I need to be here. This is the Hobgoblin Chamber. Alright. Hello. Like, I wouldn't want to cause a lag spike by having a public appearance, for example, on hardcore, and that leading to someone's death. Or even theoretically mailing them something, which I don't think does, but, you know, just to be on the safe side. Skipping Proof is in the Poison and Legend of the Lost Locket this hardcore. I am still skipping, I think, largely, although maybe not when I get to like level 6. I think 6, right? Maybe not recovering the Lost Tome. But I'm not doing that. I'll probably do Proof is in the Poison. And I don't usually do Stealthy Repo either. Just because I don't. We are seeing these death notices on stream here today, as you know. Huel Eeks. Yay! Alright, there we go. Cosmetic pets shouldn't be allowed on hardcore? Well, I'm sorry, I disagree with that. But it doesn't hurt to not distribute them. Alright. The pet rock is a fun drop. It is. I love the pet rock. The implementation of surround sound. So we tend to use OpenGL. Or not, is it open? No, AL. OpenAL for our audio. So I think if there were ever kind of an easy and convenient OpenAL solution for sort of a stereo to 5.1 conversion, perhaps that's something we could take a look at. But I don't know enough about sort of the status of OpenAL to know if that would ever be a possibility. I would love to see an idea of like a surround sound DDO. It already sounds pretty darn good. And I think a lot of people's own hardware solutions take care of that for them. But in terms of like an official 5.1 support, I mean, you'd clearly have to mix and master all your audio in 5.1, and so would you for all the audio files in the game here. And so that's just not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. You'd have to redo all the audio in the game. That would be a lot. That would be a lot. Seems all right. Yep, I'm going to take that full plate. So I think we're getting pretty close to the end of the show here. Perhaps I will answer a few more questions and just kind of wrap it up. It's been a pretty chill stream here. I do thank everyone for being here. We're going to fix the cooldown timer for Tsunami in the next patch. Let me see. I don't have that listed in the notes for Tsunami. I have Enervation rending and Rend the Soul no longer applying through Death Ward, and Enervation now taking Metamagic feats properly, but I don't see anything about Tsunami. And then for Epic Destinies, we've got Bring About Destruction and Draconic applying its universal spell power. Abilities and Exalted Angel letting you move while you use them. We did finally fix this Leap of Faith recharging. Fury of the Wild, Unbridled Fury will allow you to be moving while it activates. And then Shadow Dancer, Depths of Darkness will now stack as intended. So that's what I've got, I guess, for some of the other notes in Update 52 that I didn't get to yet. Will the weekend bonus appear during my break? Probably not. I think what we usually do is just kind of have a bonus go throughout like the holidays, throughout like the not next week but the week after or something like that, and then just run it through the end of the year. So I would expect us to do something similar to that this time around as well. Someone's saying, will a help ticketing update wipe out our existing in-game past ticket history? Let me actually call up what you're talking about there, and as I wrap up the show, let me take a minute to explain what that's about. So as of today, we are, and I believe it's as of today, maybe tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow for DDO, I think. Today for Lotro, and then Update 52 for DDO. We are going to be changing our in-game help UI to a slightly new system. For the most part, though, it really is not going to change anything that you have to do moving forward. So that's, feel free to ignore for the most part if you want to. But what we're doing is we're moving away from the old in-game UI to the help.standingstonegames.com interface. So from inside of the game, you'll be using the same system that you're using outside of the game. And that is help.standingstonegames.com, both for our FAQ, our support questions, for submitting a ticket, for tracking your tickets. You'll be able to track your tickets in some cases in a way that you weren't able to do before. And utilizing your Standing Stone Games help account. Remember, your help account is different from your regular game account. And so you do want to make sure you've got a help account created, or you'll create one when you first interface with the system. And then you'll use that to correspond with us and track your ticket status and what have you. And I put up a page this week, last Friday, something like that, about getting help. This new help page here, and so that's what that question is about specifically. But for the most part, nothing's really changing in terms of the way it's actually being done. What we're doing is the old UI in game essentially translated an old legacy help ticketing system to the current help ticketing system, which is what players have been using out of game for years and years now. And what we're doing instead is we're getting rid of that old basic conversion and everything and just going natively into the new, I call it new, except it's been around since, 2015 or so, help.standingstonegames.com. Well, 2017 because of Standing Stone Games, but you know what I mean. And so that's really all that's changing, is that the way the ticketing system you'll interface with it in the game is changing. But in actual reality, not much is changing in terms of what you do, how it works, status of your current tickets. All that stuff is preserved. And it's just a bit of a new UI system that is more what you have been experiencing outside of the game for a long time to come. And this is going to be happening any day now. Like I said, I think on the DDO side it has to wait for update 52. I think there's something in update 52 related to it. But it, I believe, may even be hitting Lotro today. So not a big deal for the most part, especially because none of your existing tickets need to be refiled or anything like that. If they were under the old system where you couldn't track them, you probably will still not be able to track them. But anything you submit going forward, you'll be able to track using the My Tickets tab there. So, all right, let me take one quick look at chat. Does the new ticketing system require a separate login? Yes, it does. It's your it's your Standing Stone Games help account. And that is its own account system. I am looking through Facebook chat, seeing if there's anything else I should answer. I don't think so. I think we're okay. So I'm going to wrap up the show here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Really do appreciate it. You will see that quite a few of our streamers will also be on a slower broadcast schedule for the coming weeks here as we head into the holidays. But I will be here next Wednesday for more of the weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. It'll be a holiday celebration. Thank you so much for being here, everyone, and I will see you next week.